Hello, welcome. Today we are reviewing The Strangers, Chapter 1. It's the new entry in the Strangers franchise, which began in 2008. That one starred Scott Speedman and Liv Tyler. Yeah, we're going to talk about this. This is actually the start of a new trilogy of films, which we will get into that in a second. And let's talk about if this is a good start or not. And yeah, I won't leave you guys in suspense. Not very good. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and play a clip right here. So, as stated earlier, that was a clip from The Strangers and Chapter 1. And let me go ahead and read. So, The Strangers Chapter 1 is a new film directed by Rennie Harlan, written by Brian Bertino, Alan R. Cohan, Alan Friedland. It stars Madeline Petch and Ryan Bown, and it also features Richard Brake in a very small role. We'll get this. We're not gonna read the rest of the cast because they're very small roles. Everyone else. So here's the thing that's funny about when I review movies, and this is actually my first movie that I'm reviewing since Drive Away Dolls, which was not the plan. I had planned on continuing to review stuff, but I've had some family issues and stuff, just some things that been keeping me. I didn't want to miss out on the Dune Part 2 review, but I might still review it later when I get the Blu-ray. But usually whenever I review these films, I write things down in this little journal here, right? I write notes about the film down so I can, keep track of my thoughts and stuff while I'm reviewing the film and everything. And I gotta say, when I got home from this, I did not feel that it was worth sitting down and writing down the notes. This movie, I'm so confused by. We're gonna watch the trailer together here pretty soon on this review. I'll probably exclude that from my YouTube video. But one of the things I'm confused about going into this film was I thought it was a prequel because I think one of the trailers, I think the one we're going to react to, I think has the tagline like, witness this beginning of The Strangers or something like that. So I thought this was a prequel, and it's not. At least it can't be. There's no way, because like the original film came out in 2008, and I believe it takes place in 2005. I was going to wait to rewatch the first two films after I saw this, just because sometimes I don't like comparing things. Sometimes I do. It just depends. Like with with Furiosa coming out, I'm going to rewatch all the Mad Max films before I see that, because George Miller's the GOAT. I might rewatch other George Miller films like 3,000 Years of Longing and Babe as well. But with this movie, I didn't want to do that. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because I feel like I would hate this movie even more if I had rewatched it, because the thing is, that original film, it takes place in 2005, I'm pretty sure, and The thing that's interesting about this movie is there's absolutely no way this can be a prequel because they're rocking like iPhones and stuff, and I'm talking like brand new iPhones. Not even like what I got, which is the iPhone 13 Max or whatever, right? I'm talking um I'm talking like the new iPhone 15 or 16, whatever iPhone they're on now. It's hard for me to keep up these days, but it's like genuinely baffling. And it's honestly, this film, like I said, I usually like to keep notes and stuff. This is gonna be a pretty quick review of the movie, but this film it's derivative of the first film, which like this actually just feels like a remake of that, and like it hits all the same beats, but like way worse, and it's like way less interesting. It doesn't look good. I mean, the movie does look good, but it doesn't look as good as the original. The cast is okay, but to be honest with you, I thought Madeline Petch was great, and I thought Ryan Bound was asleep. It felt like sometimes, which is like a big stark contrast to the original film, which starred, as I said, Scott Speedman and Liv Tyler, and was directed by Brian Bertino. I'm actually surprised to see Brian Bertino listed as a writer here. He's got a story by credit. Okay, that makes sense. And then the sequel to The Strangers is The Strangers Pray at Night, which had Christina Hendricks, Martin Henderson. Hang on a second. God, like I said, this is like unusable. It's got Lewis Pullman, yeah. Bill Pullman's son. And I actually really liked that film. And it was directed by Johannes Roberts, who you may know from directing another film that I kind of like but don't love, which is Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. Even with that film, even though like I thought, like looking back on that film even, I feel like when I rewatch it, I'm going to like it so much more now that I've seen just how bad this can be. And to be honest with you, this is the beginning of a new trilogy, and I am not interested in watching the next one. It is directed by Renny Harlin, and when I saw, like, I had very low expectations going into this film at first, but then when I saw it was directed by Renny Harlin, I kind of got excited because Renny Harlin has directed stuff like Deep Blue Sea. He also directed, I believe he made, man, my mind is blanking. He used to be married to, man, I cannot remember her name. What is going on? Gina Davis. So he directed like Cutthroat Island. He directed Cliffhanger. Deep Blue Sea. The Long Kiss Goodnight, I believe he directed as well. And he's directing all three of these. So I really expected some more fun stuff stylistically here, or at least like make it fun. But like, man, he must have like lost the sauce or something, because even with like films people think are bad of his, like Cutthroat Island, which I actually really like that movie. He always has like a sense of playfulness and fun behind the camera with a lot of his movies that I've seen. And I haven't watched anything recently from him, and I guess there's a reason why, because like I said, he seems to have lost all the sauce. Like this is bland and it's boring. And the worst part is, so there is like a little tease for the next film. What's funny about that is, though, the movie ends on like the most like annoying to be continued moment I've ever seen in a movie, which, even knowing that like chapter 2 and chapter 3 are like not far behind, like they're coming out this year, I'm pretty sure anyway, even knowing that, I still was like annoyed with the to be continued. And what's even funnier is it says to be continued, and then like the credits like start rolling, and then they have like another scene after that like sets up the next movie, and or like the premise for it or whatever. And I was like, well, put the to be continued moment after that, like, why is it there? They also do this hilarious thing where like the first like opening sequence of the movie, they're like driving on the road and it says somewhere in Oregon, which is like so obnoxious, because then like moments later they come across a sign that says Venus, Oregon, which is where the film takes place. And they're in this like town where everyone's just an asshole for some reason. I don't really know what's up with that. I guess it was to make the film feel scarier, but the biggest problem with this movie is it's not scary. It's like never scary. I think that first film is extremely scary. The second film, not really that scary to me, but stylistically I liked it a lot. Johannes Roberts in that film, he is pulling a lot from his like people he really likes as filmmakers, like John Carpenter and stuff like that, but he really like brings his own unique sense of like flavor to it, which is what the stuff I liked in his last film, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, as well, because, you know, even when his films aren't that good, he has like some flair behind the camera. He's having fun at least making these films. And the cast is usually pretty solid as well. And the thing I liked about The Strangers Prey at Night is how like the characters actually do like fight back a lot more than in that original film. I think the original film, it makes sense that they didn't really fight back too much, but in the sequel it does, you know, you want to like kind of up the ante a little bit, make it, you know, have some more surprises. And I like the way that the characters fought back in that movie. In this movie, man, they sort of fight back at times, but like it's tensionless. As you saw, as a matter of fact, in that clip that we were just watching, it felt so much long. How long was that clip? That clip was not even 2 minutes. It's 1 minute and 51 seconds, and it felt so much longer than that to me because everything is like really, really extended and played out. And I think part of that is because I don't think they had enough material to make 3 movies here. It feels like they've taken a script and like, and maybe I'll feel differently when I watch the next 2 films. Maybe I will, but it feels like they've taken a script that like the first 20 minutes was this movie, the next 20 minutes was whatever the next movie is going to be, and then the last like 30 minutes is like whatever the next movie is going to be after that. I don't know what's going on with this. This is like genuinely baffling to me. I don't recommend it. I don't think you should go see it in theaters. And I'm going to have to give this film 1.5 stars out of 5. You can check that out on my Letterboxd. Yeah, I hated this movie. It was boring. It's tensionless. It's not scary. The characters are stupid. I mean, really stupid. They show in the trailer where he's pointing the shotgun at one of the killer's faces. He's got the drop on. He's got all the time in the world to blow this chick away. And like, sure, okay, you know, it's difficult killing people, but like, kill her. Like, I did not understand this at all. It was so weird. And genuinely like off-putting, especially because there's a few moments before that like set up that like, oh yeah, this guy, he has no problem really pulling the trigger on stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's a moment earlier when he pulls the trigger and you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. And then like it doesn't make any sense why later he wouldn't just blow her fucking face off. It's genuinely weird and bizarre, and the way that the killers get the drop on him after that, like once he's already got the gun pointed at her, was so hilarious and stupid. And then also talking about how there's moments in this movie that like make them seem like they're supernatural, because like especially like there's like a shower scene in this where like the killer's watching her, and then like it just like disappears. I'm like, there's no way this man could have just what like, I'm willing to suspend my disbelief on a lot of stuff, especially when I'm having fun with a movie. You know, like one movie that really comes to mind with that is like Friday the 13th, 2009. That franchise has been on my mind a lot lately, mainly because they don't do anything with it anymore. They just announced something that I think is dumb and annoying. But there's times when like Jason, he like almost teleports kind of, which is like a franchise staple. But with those movies, I'm having so much fun. I don't give a shit. You know? Like, so this is just misfire on all directions, and maybe the sequels will be better. Maybe chapter 2 and 3 will be better. Maybe that's where Rennie Harlan will really step up and like have more fun, you know? Maybe he just needed to get this out of his like this part out of his system so we can get to like the real good stuff. I don't know what's going on with this. I think this movie's bad. I will say this, like I said, I thought this chick who she was on Riverdale, I watched like 2 seasons of that show. I thought she was great on that show. Madeline Petch, I think she's really good in this movie. She really holds it down. Like if she wasn't in it, this would be like a slog. I mean a slog. like truly. So kudos to her for making me not get up and just basically walk out and decide not to review this at all. You know, so it's really only there for completionists, honestly, like myself. If you're a horror aficionado and you just have to see the new horror film in theaters, then yeah, go, I guess. But if you're not like me and you don't feel the need to see every single horror movie you possibly can in theaters, then yeah, skip this. I don't even recommend watching this at home, honestly. I mean, maybe if you get baked, you know, and you know, get some snacks accumulated and toss it on and just kind of like relax, then maybe I can see someone enjoying it at home. But overall, it's a nothing movie. It actually literally made me wish I saw the new John Krasinski, Ryan Reynolds movie, which trailer has annoyed me all year long. So, you know. But anyway, guys, if you saw The Strangers Chapter 1, let me know what you thought down in the comments down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe on this video, and yeah, all that good stuff. And I will be back. I'm either gonna there's two films that dropped on Shudder that I might review before I review Furiosa, but I will definitely be back to review Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, a film that I cannot wait for. I am so fucking excited. So, to say the least. As a matter of fact, my plan for that is actually I'll probably stream a little bit before I go see it, and then I'll come back from the film, stream, review it, and then we might honestly watch Fury Road together after that, because man, oh man, oh man, oh man, I cannot wait to see this movie. Anyway, guys, that is my review for. I almost exited. I almost hit stop streaming because I'm used to recording or whatever. So I'm glad I didn't do that. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to reviewing movies and stuff. It's been a difficult time for me personally.